guys, welcome to Freedom and a Budget, and I'm so excited to do this live video with you. As you know, we have been in Hurricane Irma, and it has been a crazy week. This is my first real hurricane that I've ever been through. We had Matthew last year, but it wasn't much. I think by the time that it hit Florida, it was a tropical storm, maybe a category 1, but wasn't much. I've been here in Florida for 10 years now. So we've been really lucky that we haven't had any major hurricanes. 2 years before I moved to Florida in '05, they got hit with 3 in a row, and it was really, really bad. But ever since then, we've been really lucky. So I was nervous going into this hurricane because I've never, really been through one. I didn't know what to do. So thankfully I had Jamie and his parents and everyone to kind of help along. So I'm just kind of give you the full recap of what happened from start to finish, where we're at now, what's going on. We're still in the midst of it, still affecting us. But just to give you, guys, like a timeline. So last weekend was Labor Day. Great weekend. We had this, little bit of talk of Hurricane Irma was coming, but we didn't think much of it. I actually had my bridal shower planned for this past Saturday, and Jamie's mom, whenever we bring up the hurricane, oh, no, we're not talking about that because that's going to ruin the shower. We're not talking about Hurricane Irma. Doesn't exist. She doesn't exist. In my head, I'm like, we may want to prepare. And so, we just kind of poo-pooed it. Didn't think much of it. Well, Tuesday, Wednesday came, and it was like, oh crap, she's coming right for us, and she's coming right up the east coast of Florida, which is where I live. So that's when, the kind of panic came in, and just the, oh crap, we got to do something about it. So instantly, as soon as that happened Tuesday, the gas station lines started filling up. Publix went crazy. Everywhere was selling out of water and whatnot. So we were just kind of going into survival mode at that point. And my work we worked full day Wednesday, and then we're off Thursday, Friday to prepare. And, Thursday, Friday, it's still beautiful blue skies out, which was kind of weird that we're prepping for this hurricane and it's not even raining. And if you guys saw my video of prepping for the hurricane and everything, you guys saw that we went out and we were running errands and picking up stuff for the hurricane, going to Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff. But it wasn't, too big of a deal. So then we went, got that stuff, got everything ready. I prepped the apartment. We're prepping the house. Jamie's parents had to go up to their lake house, which there's going to be something big happening at the lake house. So they had to go up to the lake house because she has some like Thomas Kincaid paintings that one of them was hand touched up by his brother and signed. So she's like, nothing can happen to those. So I was like, it's a 2-hour drive. You are going to kick yourself for years and years and years if you don't make that, 4-hour round trip drive to go get those paintings. You need to go. She's like, okay. So they drove up, did some stuff around the house, got the, put the boat away and different things like that. For the lake house, took pictures and video of everything so that they had it documented for insurance. So that was Wednesday that they went up. Traffic is already getting bad. People are flying out. People are driving out of state. And I'm like, why are you doing this, guys? Like, at that point, it wasn't that big of a deal. And then it would start getting stronger and stronger. And then people weren't able to get out. It was backed up traffic. Crazy amounts of traffic, gas shortage. Every time you drove in the right-hand lane, you were regretting it. You had to drive in the middle of the left-hand lane because gas stations, if they had gas, they had a 1/4-mile long line. So then Saturday hit. Saturday started raining. I stayed at Jamie's house. We had a curfew that we had to be off the roads by 3:00 on Friday. So, we were at Jamie's parents' house, and we had the generator, we had propane, we had, everything we need, peanut butter jelly and everything. And it was fine. The rain started coming, wind started picking up a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. Saturday night, it got really bad. It got really scary, really windy. The trees were just blown like crazy. Jamie's parents' house, they have a back patio that sits on the west side of the house. The storm was coming in from the east, and so the house was totally blocked off, which was perfect for the patio. So we were sitting out there before it got really bad and before the tornadoes started coming. and just watching the trees. And one telephone pole was just like this, like the wires were literally holding it on. So that was Saturday. It wasn't too bad. Saturday night was scary, like winds beating against the house, and it's just bad. And then Sunday morning we wake up. I was up a lot, so I kind of slept in and rested until about 9:30, 10 o'clock, which I'm usually up by like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So that was really late for me. So I go to the Keurig, put my coffee cup under. As soon as I put my coffee cup under and it says ready to brew, power goes out. I'm like, no, all time. So that morning we made coffee in a pot on the stove or on the grill, because we lost power totally, and we made cinnamon rolls on the grill, and everything's were cooking out. And that was fine. Storm started dying around 7 Sunday night. We still weren't able to get on the roads. Sunday night, I get a phone call from all of my family members, and everyone's freaking out. And it turns out that my aunt actually passed away Sunday morning, like around 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And so she lives 30 minutes north of me. So I'm, did she pass away from the storm? Did something happen to the house? What happened? Or was it natural causes? And I think it was natural causes. So, with all the hurricane stuff, we're having to deal with this death in the family as well, which was just so, horrific. And thankfully we have cops in the family. And my little cousin was, she hadn't, heard the news and whatever. And so my aunt's husband called her son in Japan and told him, he's living overseas. Japan told him he didn't want his sister, my cousin, being told over the phone. So he said, can someone go over and tell her? Well, we're in a curfew. We're having, at that time, I think it was like maybe 60 to 70 per hour winds constantly going. So he got a hold of us to get proper numbers. And so my other aunt called her husband, whose cell phone was off because he was working at the station. She called her other son, who's also a cop, and he was able to escort her over to the house. 3 o'clock in the morning, they're banging on the door. They wake her up, to let her know what happened. So it was hard. And my heart just breaks for her. I know what it's like to lose a mom. I know what it's like to lose a parent, and it's tough. So that was an emotional, couple days with that. So Monday kind of started slowing down a little bit. By Monday afternoon, it's beautiful. I come back to the apartment and no power, no anything like that. And we had some curfews during the day that we couldn't be out. But we're going to Lowe's because we have to get more oil for the generator and stuff. And so we're just driving around. I was off work Monday, Tuesday, went back to work today. And I had no power whatsoever. So I lost all of my food in my freezer, in my fridge. It's all gone. And it stinks. Absolutely smells. And so I can't even throw it away because the trash people haven't come and the trash is all piled up. So it's just sitting in my fridge right now, and I'm just not opening the door. So if you guys have any tips on what to do of purchasing your groceries or anything like that, if you've been through this, thankfully all of my pantry food is fine, but nothing in the fridge survived. The fridge or freezer survived. So yeah, it's been hard with that, and Aldi's not even open yet. Some Publixes are starting to open. One of the Publixes by Jamie's house, something happened with their generator, and they lost all of their refrigerated food, all their frozen food, all their refrigerated food. They lost it all. So that's like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of products that they lost, which is crazy. But so once Aldi opens, I'm going to start replenishing. So if you have any tips on like that, let me know. In fact, I'm getting one. Rachel Riggs says, Ugh, I know that what it's like to have all your food spoiled. If you have a renter's insurance, they may cover some of that. I do have renter's insurance. I don't know what my deductible is. Would I still have to pay for my deductible, or do they just cover it because if it's a state of emergency? How does that work? Let me know, guys. Let's see. take this for what it's worth. The advice I read is you should throw out your fridge as well, based on advice with wildfires here. Insurance. Huh. So is it gonna, what if I disinfect it with like vinegar or bleach? Does that make the fridge okay, or you can't use it at all because of the spoiled food? We lost our refrigerator as well. We didn't have power for over 24 hours. And once electric came on, the back of the fridge was over 50 degrees. It does feel cool now. I did open it once and it does feel cool in there. So I was thinking of trying to get the food out probably tomorrow and then cleaning it really good and letting it sit for a couple days before I go and purchase new groceries. Is that a good idea? Is that not? It is, a rental fridge. So it came with the apartment. So if it isn't, would my apartment cover that? Let me know, guys. Wendy said, call your insurance company and ask if they recommend you replace it. Okay. Yeah, I can do that one. And the other is from Sarah Mitchell. Aw, you guys are so awesome. I'm so thankful you guys are here. All right, so let me know what you guys say. And in the meantime, so I walked in to my bedroom this morning, and this was on my nightstand from when I was at work. It says, "I love you, babe, Jamie." And then these beautiful flowers. Isn't this beautiful? I'm so excited. I love them. And they have lilies in them, which are my favorite. I'm going to have to bring them to my work because I can't have flowers here because the cats will eat them. So, yeah. So you got to be in hiding until work tomorrow. All right. Let's see what we got. Sarah asked if the apartment will replace it. I don't know. I'm going to ask. And then Paula Lucas says charcoal is supposed to take out the smell. Oh, I have baking soda in there now, but it's not working. Wendy Valencia asked, where did he buy those in a hurricane? Probably Whole Foods. I think Whole Foods or Fresh Market. That's like his cheap go-to places for flowers. If you guys need flowers, those places are awesome. They last forever. They're such great quality. They're not too expensive. But that vase, it actually looks familiar. I think I have one in a different color, so I think he got them at Whole Foods. Yeah, so let me know, guys, if you have any questions or what else is going on. Oh my gosh, forgot to tell you guys. So power's back on, which is a blessing. I came in today and, dreading the the power not going out. And I wanted to do this live stream so bad. I was going to do it last night, just didn't work out. And then I was going to go and drive somewhere and just film it in my car. And then I walked in and my bathroom light was on, and I was like, crap, I left the light on. What the heck? And I was like, oh, that means I have power. And then I come into the office, turn the computer on, and I had Wi-Fi. So I was so excited. Okay, so other thing, the lake house. So this is Jamie's parents' house that they have. It's about 2 hours away in the middle of Florida. And we're having a neighbor watch the house. And Jamie's dad told him, don't call me unless something happens, call me. So we're sitting there Sunday morning, and he gets a voicemail from the area code. And then he, listens to the voice. He's like, crap, got a voicemail from there. He knew something was up. So listens to voicemail, and he heard that a tree fell on the roof of the garage. So get, more information, call him back. And I'm going to post it in the thumbnail. So after this video uploads to my channel, check out the thumbnail. And the whole wall in the garage is all split. You can see like the bricks, total tree on it. And then the neighbor's house, there was a jet ski that got loose, and it was banging up against the dock all during the storm and ruined about 10 feet of their dock. And from the description, it sounds like it's our jet ski. So we're going to be responsible for that. But there's big trees down everywhere. It's lots and lots of damage. That tree that fell in the garage is huge, huge. But thank God that it fell on the back of the garage and not the front where the door is. Because if it fell on the front where the door is, people would be able to get in and then get into the house. because like the inside garage door they keep unlocked. So just that's a huge blessing that it's not on the inside. They're not able to get up to the lake until I think they were planning on going out tomorrow, just because they have business down here and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty bad. It's been a big deductible, but thank God no one was there. They did say, thank God that guys weren't here during it, that you were in Boca, because it was just horrendous. It was a terrible night. They got hit a lot harder than we did because the way the storm went up the west coast, they're more in central, so they were closer to the eye. But it was bad. And we still have, trees down here, the big uprooted trees. Tons of businesses still don't have power. Jamie still doesn't have power. There's signs missing. There's flooding. There isn't much flooding here. There's some flooding in Naples and flooding in like the Keys and stuff in Miami, but not too much here. But yeah, it's bad. It looks like an apocalypse came through when you're driving through. It's crazy. Still, like I would say 70% of the stoplights don't work. So all the stoplights are 4-way stop, which takes forever because they're all, 3-lane highway type roads as our normal roads. So it's crazy. But yeah. All right. So let's get into some questions. All right. So Wendy said Whole Foods was the first place that opened after New Orleans hurricanes. Look at that. Nicole Brown said, photograph foods that are discarded as the information may be required for insurance purposes. Contact your insurance provider for specific details and requirements. Okay, I will definitely do that. Sarah Mitchell asked, did you have a lot of flooding? The water is still rising here on the West Coast. A large portion of our city is in water. We did not have flooding, thankfully. Anything that did flood, it's gone down. Like our A1A, which is our road that's along the beach, like the road is just covered in sand. It's like an inch or two of just straight sand because the water, came over, but it did go back and disperse. At one point, the ocean was so far back that, like almost back as far as the end of the pier, that they were kind of afraid of tsunami and stuff. So that was really scary, but we don't have any flooding, at least in my area. I know that Brickell does down in Miami and the Keys and stuff. But you guys got hit hard on the West Coast. It was scary. I had so many of my friends from the East Coast going to the West Coast, to seek shelter and going to Tampa, Cape Coral, places like that. And then that's what got hit. And they were like, oh crap, we made the wrong decision. We should have stayed home. But at that point, it was too late. And coming back home, it's taking people forever to get back. One of my old bosses was, it took 21 hours to get back into Florida. Or what was it? To get out of Florida, it only takes 5 hours typically. Yeah, it was crazy. And the gas shortage was ridiculous. All right. Let's see. Wendy's asking if the lake house is where I filmed my video at. Yeah. So if you guys saw my Labor Day video, go check it out. That is from the lake house. That was a lot of fun. We're on the boat, on the water, and just hanging out and being goofy. Kathleen? Ooh, that's a cool spelling. I hope I'm pronouncing that wrong. Kathleen Hansen says, renters insurance may not cover the hurricane. They're often considered acts of God and not covered. That's why people need to buy a separate flood insurance. Yeah, they definitely need flood insurance. Thankfully, I'm on the second floor, so I don't have to worry about that here. If we did have horrific flooding like Harvey did, but typically we don't, flood more than a foot. Sharon says, yay, you have power. I bet those kitties are excited to see you. Yes, they are. Rachel Riggs, does Jamie live in a separate apartment or with his family right now? Excuse me. He is living with his parents right now until we get married. And then once he gets married in 3 weeks on Friday, he's going to be moving in here, which is so exciting. We decided to not live together before we get married. All right, Sarah Mitchell says, not having electric is the worst. My mother-in-law is still without it, and they aren't expecting area to be fully functional until the 22nd or later. Yeah, it sucks. It was really scary, to be honest. I slept here the past 2 nights, and It was bad. It's, it's eerie, it's creepy. I also didn't have cell service. I don't have any cell service now at my apartment. I'm on Wi-Fi, which is, thankfully, but all the cell towers are out where I live and where I work, which his works down there. He's 3 miles up the road from me, but where I am, and it was so scary because what if something happened to Jamie and he's trying to get a hold of me? So what if something happened with, me and I was trying to get a hold of someone else? It was bad. Thankfully that some phone calls were coming through, but no texts were able to send at all. And it was constantly searching for a signal. So it was just killing my battery. So I would have like the little power banks and charging at those, but I was having to put on airplane mode because it was just killing the battery. At one point, I woke up in the middle of the night and it said 100% battery, so I took it off the power bank, and 2 hours later, it sounded like 56%. So it was just, you couldn't have it on, or you would just drain through everything. Let's see. Oh, and they said that they expect the East Coast to have power by the end of the weekend. So yeah, it's not looking good. But thankfully, lots of trucks are coming. We're seeing trucks coming all over, and every time I see them, I'm just like cheering and waving them and just thanking them because they are sacrificing huge for us. A1A Beachfront Avenue. Yes, Wendy. A1A. We love driving A1A. It is so beautiful and such pretty multi-million dollar houses. We can dream. All right. Scott Warren says, I hope people will learn not to take hurricanes lightly. It's true. It really is. So many people just, it's a hurricane, but they can be devastating. And I think a lot of it is the aftermath. Like these last 3 days have been a lot worse than that 24 hours of the storm. And it's scary. And then tornadoes that come with hurricanes, people think it's just wind, but most of the time they come with tornadoes. One did rip through where Jamie's parents' business is, and they had some trees down, but thankfully none of the buildings got hit. But they can tell by the way the path was that it was a tornado, and it's scary. Like, you can have the strongest roof in the world for a hurricane to pass over it, but if a tornado hits it, you're out of luck. So yeah, we need to be very careful with them. Sharon C's in the house. Let's see. Rach and Rake says, how did you charge your phone without power? So we had the power banks, the little square power banks, and Jamie had, like, every time he sees them on sale, he buys them. I think he has like 14 of them. It's something crazy. So he just made sure those were all charged up. I had one of my own, so we were just kind of rotating on those. And if we did find somewhere with power, we would charge our phones there. Anytime we were on the phone, we would plug in our charge with the car charger just to keep things going. Thankfully, we never lost battery. I'm actually charging some power banks now to give to Jamie so that he has some, because they still don't have power there. When he says, when you say East Coast, I keep thinking you're talking about California. Nope, sorry. It is. We always talk about East Coast and West Coast of Florida. But a lot of people think West Coast is, California and whatnot. But no, just lovely Florida. All right, guys. So that is all the time that I have today. Thank you so much for joining. And if you are watching afterwards, let me know down below where you're from. I love learning where everyone's from. And also let me know if you have any tips of, repurchasing food as you go, with this. I think I'm going to, just kind of buy them after, like, as I go, like, not buying ketchup until I have a recipe that's going to need ketchup, that type of thing. One last question. Rachel Riggs, is your wedding venue okay after the storm? Yes, it is. Thank God. They posted that everything is fine. So I'm so excited about that and so thankful for that. And we just need to be praying that we don't have a hurricane during the wedding or the honeymoon, because we're going to the Caribbean. So yeah, please be praying for that. I'm kind of freaking out about it, but God's in control. All right. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.